Hey guys, this is just a video about the Porsche spring plate that I went through. Just some tips what to expect when trying to tackle the spring plate. I thought it was going to be easy, but honestly it was for the first time was pretty difficult for me. I was expecting only like a 2-day job, for me ending up being a 2-week process job. So I'm gonna try to tell you guys what to expect and some tips that I learned doing this, because I'm used to doing like coilovers and just regular suspension work, but this is the first time I actually tried to do I already did it already, but doing the torsion bars and spring plate, and just things that I came across that may be helpful for you guys if you guys planning to do this at home. So these are my original spring plates that was on the car. So they said that people said that you could actually adjust this to make it lower, but for me I think it was too complicated, so I ended up getting these spring plates instead. So these are the old ones. So I went with the Elephant Racing spring plates. Well, why would you want to change your spring plates? For me, I just wanted the handling to be better. Bushings in here would be really old, so you know it's an old car, so you want to change these bushings out for better handling. And I like my car to look a little bit aggressive, so it was a no-brainer for me to do it. So I got these first. I didn't get these spring plates in the beginning. I got these other companies. I forgot the brand. And it came with these poly bushings. It came with these poly bushings that goes around here. There's a lot of people on the forums and whatnot, to put the poly bushing, so you have to remove these right here. My recommendation, first of all, if you're gonna tackle this job, I say you be prepared to like do it in the garage, unless you don't want to work it outside, or because for me it took a while, because so you have to clear your schedule and make sure you have like the right tools. Well, these are pretty simple tools, but but sometimes, like when you get the polyurethane bushings, which I came across, it didn't fit. It didn't slide in here correctly. They said you had to like put grease, so I put grease. I put like a lot of grease. I tried put it in, it wouldn't fit. So, and that took me like hours to figure out. And then I read one of the forums, they were saying that some of these poly bushings, that when you receive it, you have to like shave it down or like shave it down or something. So I didn't have that tool to, and I didn't want to shave anything down when it comes to bushings when it comes to the car. So I had to return that kit. That kit came with the poly bushings. It came with our spring plates. So I had to so I ended up ordering from Elephant Racing, and I'm not sponsored by Elephant Racing. I'm just making this video just to help people out there that want to tackle this. And Elephant Racing products, that it actually works very well. It's like a perfect fit. Like, you don't have to do no modifications or shave anything down. So you could use this when you replace it, when you remove the spring plates. First of all, I didn't do this. You're supposed to measure the degrees of where, and mark it where the spring plates, the old one is, where the old one is placed with a with one of those gauges. I think I have one of those. With one of these, with one of those. I forgot the name of this, but you just measure it, magnet it, and then you set it. So I didn't do that. I thought it was gonna be easy, and but then, so I effed up on that. So the second thing I effed up was I didn't get new bolts. I suggest you get new hardware when you replace these, because it's old, and when you're forcing in this plate right here, it's gonna. So some people they put the bushings around here. So on the old poly bushings, it wasn't seating flat, right? So some people that I saw, like online, they said to put the bushing here and then use the and then just screw it down slowly and let the bushing goes in. In my case, that didn't work, because the poly bushing was too big. So, and it ending up, so that didn't work. So the hardware, you should get new hardware, because mine actually ending up on my passenger side. This is the driver's side. So on my passenger side, this actually, one of these bolts, it broke off. Like, it broke right here. So we had to rethread it and get new hardware. So I ended up changing the torsion bars also. So this is over here. So how torsion bar works, every teeth is a different height. So when it has to be re-indexed, it could be very time consuming, because you have to get it correctly. When you take it out, you want to make sure when you put the other one in, it's the right direction, because each side is different. Okay, so this is my old one. I ended up getting the Elephant Racing, the quick change. So the quick change the quick change, so you could like remove it and pull it out. So, and to do that, you have to get the full kit. You have to get the spring plate, you have to get the poly bronze bushings. Elephant Racing sells a OEM rubber like replica bushing that works fine, but you can't use that with the quick change. You got to get the complete kit, which is the quick change torsion bar, the quick change spring plate, and the poly bronze bushings. And those poly bronze bushings it's like you can put grease in it and you re-grease them. So those are good if you're going to go to like the track, street, and you can just pull it out without taking out the spring plate. Because every other car, if you're gonna want to change the settings, you have to take out the spring plate. So that's the good perks, you know, because you don't want, to me, I don't want to do this again. This is pretty, it's very time consuming, and I think it's better if you actually have like you have like a lift and you have time, because when you put it in, if you put it in the wrong way, the tire can go all the way up. The tire can go all the way up, and that's only just one side. Like you have to put it in. So what I had to do, I had to put in. Plus, I already effed up already by not measuring it in the first place. But even when you measure it, when you remove the torsion bars, you had to find the correct teeth to put it on, and it's actually trial and error. Remove, put on, remove, install, until you find the right height, and then you put it on. So you have to jack it up, set it down, jack it up, set it down. It's doable, but just you have to clear up your schedule if you really want to do it. Like when I did it, I actually parked outside, and I usually don't park this car outside overnight. So I was pretty paranoid, and I don't really live in a safe neighborhood. Well, it's safe, but it's a classic car. I don't want it to be outside. So it was outside for a few days because I couldn't get the car rolling, and I was just trying to figure it out. So recap. So you want to make sure you have your day planned out doing this. For me, this was my first time working on torsion bars and spring plate. So it took me a good minute to figure it out. You want to mark it first. Use one of these to remember the angle of it. You want to get new hardware. I recommend getting new hardware because they can break. One of mine broke on me. Get some good grease. And just have a lot of patience. This car, this needs a lot of patience, because when you're removing the torsion bars, you have to get it to the correct teeth to have it at the correct height where you want it. Because you have it too wrong, you have it at the wrong teeth, it could be sitting like really high. Your tire could be all the way up here, and you have to remove it and then push it in again and push it into the spring plate, into the car, and then it's a pretty messy job. So you want to be prepared for that. So when you're putting back the spring plates, you want to set, so every spring plate is different. It's similar, but you want to use the correct socket for whatever spring plate you have, that adjustable, and put it at the highest rate. So when you find the the height that you like. Because this could make it lower or higher, like by millimeters. So when it's the right height that you like, and the right height that you like, you can just adjust it accordingly. I suggest I suggest maybe you have the correct tire size that you also want either. I suggest you have the correct tire size. The correct tire size, so you can have the right fitting, the right gaps that you want, and so yeah. So it's pretty straightforward. It's straightforward, but it can be tedious when you're taking out the torsion bar, like in and out. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then that's about it, and then you have to remove, for your Porsche, you gotta remove the little torsion bar caps of the car, and then so you can pull it out from here. So yeah. You want to make sure when you're putting in if you're gonna change it to a new one, which I did. This is my old one. You want to put it in at the correct size, the correct side of it, because each side is different. Every teeth is a different height, so that's what's so hard about it. That when you're guessing, putting it in and out, in and out, you have to find the correct spot, the correct teeth, and then that's the tricky part for this car. And then when you put it in, you have to grease this whole thing up, just grease it all up and put it back in, and then put all your bolts back up, do alignment, and then you should be good. But yeah, so I'll show you the front. The front is a lot easier. The front is a lot easier than the rear, so I'll show you that. So the front is a little bit easier than the back. Get this, my screwdriver. So the front is a little bit easier than the rears. So at first you just want to take your tape measure from the wheelbase and this, like normal, how we do other cars. And then right here, sorry, the camera's moving. So right here is the adjuster. There's two nuts on the bottom here. When you rotate it counterclockwise, which is left, you could just, when you're turning it, you want to count how many times you're rotating your ratchet, and then you're gonna do the same amount. So do it slowly, don't rush into it. Like I said, these, you have to take your time on when you're doing you have to take your time on doing these. So you have to adjust it accordingly, and then drop it, and then see where you stand, and then you can go from there. Usually this can go down too. You can just put this all the way down, take this nut out, put this all the way down, and then you can just put like a tape or a marker or something, and just so you have an idea where it is. These are the nuts right here on the bottom, and then you just turn it accordingly, you know. So I recommend you just put a tape and see where it stands. I usually I made down the road, just maybe drop this a little bit more. You see that this was all the way high right here. Now you could drop it like that much more, and then so yeah. So have a marker and just mark it where you like it, and just go from there. So the front is pretty easy. So yeah. So you want to do that on both sides. You know, there's people out there, they do conversion kits. People out there, they do conversion kits like coilovers, but that can kind of break the bank. So this is the closest way if you want your car to be lower, and just do it this way, and you can save yourself a lot of money. So I didn't do anything to the fronts. I'll probably just leave it the way it is for now, because this is a lot more easier to adjust. So maybe down the road I can, I look into it and see what other mods I can do. But yeah. So I hope this video helps. I did this video so people with the first time approaching this could have an idea what to expect. I did it, so when I did it, it took me like almost 2 weeks, because my first spring plates, I had to return it because the poly bushing was wrong, and then I had to order the new spring plates from Elephant Racing, and then I got that, and then so yeah, it took me more than a week to finish. But just hopefully this video helps, and yep, I'll see you in the next one.